Hey guys, this is my finished collage. I did a couple of them, and this particular one you notice I have cut out shapes. I have white with the ripping of the paper. I have several different textures and a similar color scheme. So we're good to go. Now, we are going to transfer this collage to a 11 by 14 piece of watercolor paper. Now, some of you really like these collages and you don't want to draw on them, but you need to do a grid. So I don't know if you can see this. I have several of these. It's just a small transparency, and I'm going to put it on there. Okay. And I am just going to take a small piece of tape. I have clear tape, whatever kind of tape you want, and I'm just going to put it on there to act like a hinge for right now, so I can up, down, up, down. Now, this particular collage that I've done is 6 by 8. I want to grid this. I just want to grid this in 4s. Okay, this is not a difficult piece to draw because I'm just going to draw into these little shapes, and I'm going to focus on what's in these shapes. So I'm measuring it 3 inches because 3 is half of 6. And I'm measuring it again, 3 inches. And then I'm going to draw directly on the transparency, not my collage. Okay, and if you want to draw on your collage, that's fine. Some of us really like the way our collage looks, and we're going to keep it for something else, and we don't want to draw on it. So 6 by 8 is going to be, half of each is going to be 3 by 4. So I have, okay, this done, and notice, look, see, it's on a transparency. I've done this with a Sharpie marker or a pen, something that you can see. Okay, I can see this, it's bold. So I'm going to set that aside right here. And next thing I'm going to do is I am grabbing my 11 by 14 inch watercolor paper. I hope that we can get this on the screen. Okay, there we go. Now, we know we don't want to use marker for this. We want to grab out your 4H or your 6H pencil, whatever it is you have. So this is 11 by 14. We are going to grid it exactly how we did this one, okay, in halves. So all I have to do is measure out half of 11, which is 5.5. Mark it again down here. Then I put these two lines together. Very important. So, and I'm going to draw this as light as I can. Okay, you're probably not even going to be able to see it on the screen. And then half of 14 is 7. Actually, I have 15, so it's 7.5. 7.5 and 7.5 again. Okay, now I'm going to draw this a little bit darker so you can see it, but you need to draw it as light as you possibly can. So I'm looking at this, and I am just mimicking the shapes. That's what I'm going to start with. That's going to be the easiest thing. So I'm going to start with, let's say we'll start with this one down here. I'm going to look and see, okay, this line here starts, and it's one of those cut lines. So it's kind of jagged. And it comes up and over and down. This one comes up and over. Okay. Now, like, you could watch me do this whole thing, but you get it, I'm sure. So what I would like for you to do is, if you need to grid, you may go ahead and grid. And then we are going to go ahead and transfer to your watercolor paper. One thing I want to talk about, though, and the monochromatics, you'll remember this, we are going to have tape on the edge. We're going to have a tape all the way around. So if there's something that you really, really want to paint that's on the edge, you need to make considerations for that before you put the tape on. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to do one little section here. You don't need me to do this whole entire thing, but you can see I really can paint a lot of this. I'm not having to draw every single detail. Okay, I might just kind of, there's a texture that I have right here. I don't know if that's kind of hard for you to see. It's a rug texture. I'm just going to kind of make some lines. and show the direction the texture goes into. And I think I can paint that freehand later. I do have a highlight on top of that egg. And I'm going to go ahead and do it. I didn't quite get my egg drawn there. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of sketch out the values there. I have these little white areas. Can you see this? I don't know if you can see it or not. Any white areas that you have, like that would be able to be frisketed, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw those on there to make sure that I don't forget them, because sometimes those are difficult to miss. And when we get ready to do our shading and our painting, and we go ahead and we've started, and oh no, we haven't got our frisket on there. So I'm going to stop here. Okay, you guys go ahead and finish your drawing, and then I will reconvene with a demonstration for painting. So the finished drawing, as you can see, I'm done here. The last thing that I'm going to do, because it's drawn really light, I need to erase my grid marks. So I'm coming in to erase the grid marks. I'm trying not to use this pencil eraser I told you to use. If you can use the kneaded eraser, great. If not, and you have to come back to the pink wedge cap, come back to the pink wedge cap. All right, so ready to start painting? Check the next video.